G'day folks, well it's almost time for another weekend run. I'm working flat out this week though, so it'll be a little while before I get into anything serious, but I've got a video to post of this thing running on, what was it, cooking oil. I think it was soybean oil. Very hard to start when it was cold, but ran fine when it was hot. Got some nice tubing today to make some exhaust stacks. I might put one on the Jaguar and see how it sounds. It's a spiral wound and fully welded 304 stainless heavy wall tube. They came from work. These are all just offcuts they throw in the scrap bin. It's heavy stuff. Probably overkill for an exhaust system, and some would say that mild steel is probably adequate, but hey, free stainless tube, nothing to sneeze at. And likewise, I just called by the scrapyard and they had this line out in the pile and said take it. It's an old Briggs and Stratton IC. I've turned it over by hand and it has something reminiscent of compression. Valves seem to be working but leaking. Trying to find out what horsepower it is. Okay, it's 11. Synchro balanced. These are the ones that have a habit of going boom. Electric start. Carby's obviously missing, but something of a compression there. So we'll troubleshoot this one tonight. Sounds like a bit of fun. Just find out what's going on. Maybe the coil's dead, or I don't know. I don't have a carby for it because the blown one I had a missing carby as well. But I can adapt something to that. Well, I've got her all mounted up. Well, it's not bolted there, it's just sitting on that scrap alloy wheel. Should have kept more of those Nissan wheels. They've got almost a flat face on them. I could set all my little engines up on them. I've only got the one left. Just wanted to read the code on this one. Its first two digits are 87, so it's a 1987. Pull start thingamajig, the ball thingy's alright. Problem is, the damn plastic thing's all stripped out. There's nothing left. Either it's stripped or it's melted. Maybe it's melted. I'd say maybe that's locked up, which it feels very stiff. Maybe that's just locked up and turned into a bloody fly cutter and torn it apart. I've degreased this a bit. I might take it back outside and clean the flywheel. I don't have another good cowling, I don't think. Can't remember if I pulled a good pull starter off the old one that I used on the Honda GV400, because I had a GV400 that was missing a cowling, and I just adapted one of these. I can't remember if I pulled one off that. Might have a part in stock, if not I'll find one. But still got compression. Good compression actually. Seems to have freed up the valve or whatever was leaking before. I'll find out if I've got spark. Try the electric start and just see if I can get some noise out of it. Squirt some fuel down the carby. I gave this little dude a good shot of Shell Vacra lathe machine tool way oil, sliding surface oil. It seems to come out better. It feels chalky though, like it's galled up and damaged itself, but I don't have another pull starter unfortunately. But we'll try electric start. I haven't got too much water in the starter motor. There's a pair of wires there for something, but I'll try putting power straight to it. Alright, we've got spark. Seems pretty good. Poor old power drill smokes trying to turn it over though. I mean, it's a fair decent capacity engine to try and turn over with a power drill. I just can't get past that compression without smoking it. But it will spark. It does spark. So, yeah. Next step is probably fuel. Oh, and test the starter motor, because I can't start this with the power drill, it's just too big. Same with the little diesel. I got a comment saying I could just start it with the power drill, and there's no way it has the torque to turn this over. It's not so much speed, it's just sheer torque. I need a big power drill to start this thing. But I will find a starter motor for it. Almost looks like an old Lucas starter motor flange. Might do the trick. But then again, those Lucas ones pull the drive pinion in instead of push it out. So yeah, that won't work. Just to show how worn out this drill is, eventually I will pull it apart and clean all the metal filings out of the gearbox and try and prolong its life, but that's not in hammer mode. It sounds like it's running in hammer drill mode, but it's not. It's just the crown wheel teeth are all coming off. That's about all you get out of this drill on a big engine. Alright, let's just test the starter with full compression but no ignition lead. Obviously there's no carby on it either, so I can't do anything, but see what it can do. Ignition's working fine. Very good. Don't know why they would have thrown this one out apart from the dead pull starter and missing carburetor. But then again, there's a whole heap of old lawnmower chassis in the pile at the moment. Like ride-on lawnmowers, Cox, Home Light, a few other different ones. All wrecked though. That'll work. The wire's getting hot. A few amps in those little motorbike batteries. That's all I'm using. Alright, well I pulled the plug from the cylinder and it was nice and dry. It wasn't oily or overly caked in crap. It was just a high mile plug. Been burning pretty clean. Yeah, I'd say it was a pretty healthy engine. I'll try it with this lower mile plug I'm going to replace it with anyway. This has hardly been used. It came off a weed whacker that seized up. Still a champion plug, it's not a cheapo. That's pretty reasonable. Good. Get some fuel into it. Unfortunately the only big Briggs carby I had that would fit it I gave away a while ago, a long time ago. And I've seen them at the yard before and just never bothered to pull the carbies off, stupidly enough. I might end up modifying or adapting this one to it. It's an old, it's not a China one, it's a Japanese one, Mikuni. It's off I think a 150 or a 200cc motorcycle. One of the 4-stroke overhead valve models. These things are way too big. I was going to pull one off and fit that, but the thing would idle at a few thousand RPM with such a big gap in the throttle valve up the top there. The airlet's too big. They're off a big outboard motor, a big 2-cylinder. Not too sure what model it was, but they're a Tillotson carburetor. There's a date thingy there, but it's all in... Can't quite tell when they were made, but they're old enough. Yeah, these are reserved for something much bigger. Make a manifold, common manifold, horizontal. Just feed that sucker as much fuel as you can get. Make a hell of a project if I can find an engine big enough. Now there isn't much I could do about carburation at the moment, but there's a little bit of fuel in the inlet. Let's see what she does. Ooh. Thought I fired. Unless it fired early. Heat. Run out of battery. Okay. Fire out the inlet. Ooh. I think even going the right way. There's something strange going on there. I wonder if the timing's jumped. Well, if in doubt, find a bigger battery and more gas. See, that's more like it. The thing's cranking so slow it was firing before top dead centre and pushing the piston back on the intake stroke. That's what the problem was. Yeah, that's done. Got some more gas. Bit much. Beautiful. That thing will run with a new carby. Or old carby or whatever I can find that'll fit it. Oh well. Thanks for watching.